Alright, guys, well, I know I didn't do a reaction to these particular videos at first. At least I could have done them like sometime last fall, but things happened that kind of made it hard for me to do it at first. I was already working on PlayStation All-Star Season 4, and that was brought to a halt when my grandfather passed away, and I had to go to New Mexico for the funeral service and to be with the family. And then Christmas came around, and I had to do stuff for that as well. And then at the beginning of this year, I began work on not just wrapping up All Star Season 4, but also the second and final attempt for Supersonic Squad Death to the Royal Family. And we are wrapping up the next episode that is currently in line. We got another one to work on after that. But while I'm waiting for production to finish, it is finally time for me to react to one of my other best works in terms of audio plays, Naruto and the Missing Ninja. Now, I made a whole behind the scenes video well after the release of part 1. And yes, there's a part 2, but the one I'm reacting to right now is the 2-part collab. Alright, this is the full compilation. Alright, so it's just a bit over an hour long, so that's why I tried starting this stream as soon as I could. And so I would give some pointers along the way. So anyway, I guess, to those of you who have not seen the behind the scenes of me rambling about, what I liked to do about it and what inspired it, well, if you're a latecomer to that sort of thing, I guess I can sum it up for you as quickly as I could. The whole idea started off as a little mini comic book series that I came up with a friend of mine in 2013, and it never saw the light of day. And later that year, I wrote a standalone story that was new, that came from the top of my head, and I put on fanfiction.net and its many sequels that followed. And I do not really remember so much of that version, and that's no longer on fanfiction.net. It doesn't exist anymore. So where'd it all go? Oh gee. In case you're wondering what some of that noise is out there, it's been raining all day long, so I hope the mic doesn't pick up too much of that. So I tried resurrecting the project in 2018 in the form of an audio play, and this was around the time that my older brother started writing the White Wolf trilogy for PlayStation All-Star Season 1. It never came to be. The voice acting part was the hardest to do. When I realized I just couldn't pull it off, I shut it down. But then in 2020, I was on vacation with my family in Missouri, and we went to a comic books and collectibles shop, and this was on the shelf. I'm like, oh wow, it's the classics. Oh man, I remember seeing all this in the anime. I need to catch up to that. I know, shame on me for taking interest in Naruto in the wrong order. I bought it, and I posted a picture of it on Facebook. I'm like, found this at a shop, really good stuff. And my friend Lars Joink, who has been doing voice acting with me since 2019, yes, we go back that far, he commented on it saying, "Aye, that is a very good selection there." And that was when I knew he likes Naruto. He really likes anime. I message him and tell him about Missing Ninja and how it never got to happen. And I'm like, do you think I should give it another chance? His response was recommending to me Casting Call Club. And it was the first time I ever used that platform. And when I did, I got some results. And what really brought in everyone for quality voice acting and good performance, I mean, what really attracted them was that this time around, I was actually willing to pay money to the voice actors. And I paid each one of them $10 no matter how many lines they had to do. They each got $10. And I paid like a total of $50 in terms of voice actors. Some of them were willing to do it for free. That included Lars, that included Clarice, that included Varia the Hunter, and I paid $50 more to that render of my boy Kiyata Tetsuyami, and that was like $100 paid for production, and then plus a little more for the PayPal transaction fees. Oh, it was difficult. I'm like, well, there goes some of my money to get a new laptop. That's gonna set me back, but if I want this to happen, I gotta go through this stuff. So, what did I do exactly for this? Sorry, voice cracks. I wrote the script, like another complete rewrite in 2018, but I preserved it. And then for this final audio play version, I recovered the script and I made tweaks and edits to it to make it more fitting. And now what you hear is what you get. So, yeah. Before I hit the play button to finally begin this thing, I want to give my shout outs to my voice actors. Barb, thank you so much for being a great Naruto. Johanna, thanks for being a great Sakura. And thank the both of you for coming back for part 2 1 year after part 1. It's just such a blessing, alright? So, let me turn on this little buddy here. This is the window, this is the QuickTime player, and we're about to get into it. And do note that this is the only audio play of mine. Part 1 was not narrated by me, alright? Lars narrated it this time. And since he encouraged me to revive the project and what we have here is the final version, yet I didn't give him a role at all. I'm like, oh, I can't leave him hanging. You know what? Why don't we let him narrate this time? Because I'm already voicing Kiyata in my own voice, except just a bit higher pitched or a bit higher tone. Very different. Make him sound a bit younger. And that was it right there. But for part 2, it had no narration whatsoever. I let Mother Nature transition the scenes. So, whew, all right. For the Leaf Village, let's get into it.
Naruto and the Missing Ninja. As the smoke cleared, revealing the ruins of the Leaf Village, darkness had filled the sky. The nine-tailed beast had vanished. The fourth Hokage had sealed it within his firstborn son and sacrificed himself, which left his good friend Korida Tetsuyami with a broken, heavy heart.
It's over?
No, it's far from over. The nine-tailed fox is still untamed. Minato has done his job. It has costed him his life.
What?
It should have been me. He had not lived life to its fullness. I regret not being there. If he was still alive, he would be with his newborn even more.
But he had made the right choice to lay his life down for his people, for his village.
Minato, he was a brave man. I will never forget him. As I look upon his face carving on the mountain, I will give him my undying blessings. No one must know the truth. Not even my son.
Yes, that is me voicing Koruda in my own version of an old man voice. And I've used a voice like that before when voicing Oniro for PSAS and Mortal Kombat Oblivion. And I kind of applied the same thing here, except make it sound a bit like William Hartnell, the first Doctor Who. I had a different direction for every one that I voiced in this one. So, as you can see right here, this scene happened like immediately after the nine-tailed fox was sealed within Naruto.
1 week before this happened, Korada and his dearly loved wife, Katrina, had conceived their first child, a boy named Kayata. The two had married at a late age, and right then the desire to carry their bloodline onwards had struck them. Thus, Kayata was born, but with a defect. His brain was not fully developed. Therefore, his responses and reactions would alter slowly. Also, his ability of speech was not complete. But the most part was when he would suddenly fall into sessions of sleep.
Basically telling about Kyata's like brain defects from after birth. I think like I've met some people in real life who have a hard time processing some things in their heads, and like we really can't blame them for that, because like I know that we are all responsible for our own actions, but when some things happen that suddenly give us a bit of a headache or like an inner pain up here, that's hard to control. It's hard to tame. I gotta do some real quick. Sorry, I'm just fixing up my audio settings. Because this thing is pretty quiet. I need to fix things up a bit.
It would occur.
Oh shucks, I cannot change the volume on here. I gotta capture everything. Alright, well, maybe next time make it louder. I don't know.
So his brain would.
Oh, why did it do that? Let me go back just a few seconds so we can catch up.
Without willing himself to.
There we go.
It would occur so his brain would regenerate energy. Though this was a problem for him, that did not stop his father from enrolling him in the Leaf Ninja Academy years later. He sensed potential within the boy. Perhaps one day, he would be a great ninja.
Hey, I thought he was heading home sooner.
I guess Bean is running late. He usually picks him up after work.
That guy with the check pants? I thought that was his dad. This kid should move it so he won't stand there like a lurker.
Hey, show some respect. Just because he has a birth defect doesn't mean he's easy prey for teasing. For that, why don't you walk him home?
All right. Come on, Kiata. If Bean is taking long, then I'll take you home.
Okay.
I've seen him walk up to that house and back, up on the hill. I guess with what's been going on in his brain, he can sometimes forget the way. What a weird kid he is.
One of the goals for this was to, like, even though it's an audio play, it still needs the right kind of anime feel and vibe to it. Thus, I had those moments of when people are thinking, their dialogue echoes, and also some of their responses, the kind of personalities, the colors that they portray, and I think we did a pretty good job keeping it that way. And I do love the soundtrack of the original Naruto series. That soundtrack is just absolutely beautiful.
Alongside his parents to care for him, Kayata also had two other men, Jean and Bean Hoek.
Or as I like to now call, the wastes of space in this. Looking back, I feel like those two were like unnecessary and just filled up too many original characters that we needed more room for the actual Naruto cast of characters. And that's why I didn't bring them back in part 2 at all. They are completely absent. I feel like now they're just unnecessary. They were a waste. And yes, even though I pronounce Kiyata's name as Kiyata Tetsuyami, I wasn't very clear as to how Kiyata's name was actually pronounced to any of my voice actors. So everyone else said it as Kiyata, as you hear everyone but Lars say it. Lars says it as Kayata. I should have been more clear with them on how to say it, so yeah. I thought it would be Kayata. I thought that was good enough, but if everyone says it as Kiyata, then that's how I began to say it well afterwards, so there it goes.
They were brothers who worked together in the daily newspaper business, which was what Corridor was head of. Today was a different schedule.
Would it be possible for us to... I don't think it's possible. You read my mind, eh? I've heard people say the same thing over and over again. I know what they say. Bean, where have you been? And where is my son? Why have you not picked him up from the academy? I was busy dealing with the pictures. What does it sound like to you?
I remember that from the old 2013 draft. I brought it back.
Some picture business. But this one took much longer. It was a centerfold. You better go retrieve Kayata or you'll be fired. Oh, please, no, 1,000 times, no!
Hello?
Well, look who we have here.
Hi, Dad.
Iruka-sensei didn't want him lost. I mean, confused.
Loud, right?
That's all right, I understand. Kayata may be forgetful once in a while, but we have been training his memory more often. He will soon think better. Thank you, Naruto, for bringing him home. I give you much appreciation.
You're welcome. I should be heading home myself.
Very well. Take care of yourself.
Like I said, what a weird kid.
Corridor was a worrisome old man. In fact, he almost lost it when he heard the incident that happened a couple years later. A professional doctor was requested to create a cure for Kayata's brain. But the boy's awareness drifted away as he was desperately reaching for the beaker. Every concoction spilled, mixing into what felt like liquid fire, burning the doctor's face.
Good old Forrest Potter. When I gave him the script and he recorded those lines, he did a great job. He just forgot to do that part. But then I'm like, hey, don't worry. I got you covered. And I took one of the old recordings from PSAS, White Wolf Part 3. Those were when he voiced Needles for it, Sweet Tooth. I took one of those recordings and placed it there. The guy's a legend.
As the years passed, Kayata's brain healed slowly. He was able to think more clearly and learn quicker. But a trial for him was about to come. The day before graduation day at the Leaf Ninja Academy, trouble was brewing. Thanks to Naruto, painting the Hokage's face on
There you
the
go
mountain.
with Naruto episode
What
1.
a troublemaker he was.
You're just bent because you don't have the guts to do what I do ya? Losers, wannabes, you guys suck.
Do I get my hands on you?
I lost him. That was too easy.
Oh yeah, Naruto?
Duh!
What gives you the right to skip class? Come on! Now we are kept here waiting for Naruto. This is such a drag.
Such a
You have to say that about everything?
Why don't you mind your own business?
Well, you keep dropping that phrase over and over again. What is it, your catchphrase?
If you think you've got the right answer, head to the front of the room and say your name, so I can tell your mother.
Well, I can't do that. My mother knows my name.
If there's one thing you're good at, It's roasting people. Not that you know what it is, though.
Oh, gee. That is literally one of the best parts of this. I tried finding a sound effect of kids laughing. They were supposed to be, like, all the students were supposed to laugh, and yet, I couldn't find the right sound effect I was looking for. Like, none of them seemed right to me. So, I picked up this meme laugh effect, and I guess we could say that's Choji laughing his head off and having a dang good time.
Get in there! You're
Get in
getting
there.
yourself into a bigger mess, Naruto, and I'm at the end of my rope. You failed the graduation test last year, and the year before. Now, you have another chance. Yet you're messing up again. Fine! Because you've missed it, everyone will review the transformation jutsu.
Oh, man.
Yes, even at this age, Kayata still had social anxiety.
Just like me.
But when it came to showing his work to his sensei Iruka, he would obey and stay focused on the task at hand.
Next up, Naruto Uzumaki. This is such a waste of time.
We always pay for your screw-ups.
Like I care.
You better do it good. I just can't understand the guy. Being his own class clown by getting himself into trouble. And yet, I can't help but notice the look in Hinata's eye. What does she see in him?
Look in Hinata's eye. I'm very sorry. My apologies to those Hinata fans out there, especially Varia the Hunter. Hinata did not make a full appearance in this at all. At least she got a mention. That was when Kyoto was looking at Hinata, looking hopefully at Naruto, being like,
Naruto, do your best. Transform!
sexy jutsu.
Gotcha. That's my sexy jutsu.
Enough of your bullcrap! This is your last warning!
Yeah, I know. Quentin Flynn voicing Iruka mainly went, "Got the stupid tricks!" Or, "You fool!" But this little take on it, I think, was more on the humorous side. As humorous as I can make it. Enough of your bull crap.
Well, now he's getting his just desserts. Oh no. Not here. Not now. I can't sleep now when I'm not even next in line. I can't fail. I must transform before I black out.
Kyoto, keep it there as long as you can.
I tried looking for sounds of like grogginess or like dizziness, and this one right here, this sound that I came across, I think it was called headache, and I think this kind of matched it. Like, oh my gosh, it's so dizzy, it's so like out of touch from reality. And I think you would have been the best way to portray it, especially if you hear something like this in an anime.
See, Naruto? You can learn a thing or two from him.
Like what? Sleeping?
No, he actually did the jutsu. Something you should have done to keep our session going.
I originally intended that to be Iruka giving him that grumpy face. You know the anime faces of like those lines up here, along with the lines, those kinds of eyes, looking grumpily at Naruto, going, "No," but no, that was good too.
And I've told you before, just because he has a birth defect doesn't mean he's a freak. Sakura, since you went first, you can take Kyoto to his seat. And as for you, Naruto, I've got a chore for you afterwards.
This sucks. This sucks eggs.
You're not going home until you've removed every spot of paint.
So what? It's not like anyone's waiting for me at home.
Naruto,
What is it now?
I'm thinking. Once you're done cleaning all this up, we'll head out for some ramen. The good stuff. What do you say?
Now that's some serious motivation. I'll get this cleaned up in no time.
I'm still unsure if I actually succeeded in transforming. I can never seem to recall what happens a few seconds ago before I black out. So Naruto causes trouble, but he gets treated to ramen afterwards? We must be crazy.
Naruto, why did you
ramen.
paint the Hokage faces? You know who the Hokage are, don't you?
Of course I do. Everyone knows they were the greatest shinobi of their time, right? Best of the best, undefeated ninja champs. And the fourth Hokage is the one who saved the village from the nine-tailed fox. He was the most amazing.
So, can you explain why you went and did it?
Because I'm going to be the greatest of all. Me, Naruto, the next Hokage. A ninja legend. Then everyone
Right there,
will
the
stop
scene.
dissing me and look up to me. Believe it. Oh, I kind of want to ask a little favor, Sensei.
Want a refill?
Nah, I just want to try on your headband. Come on, please.
This? No way. You can only earn a headband when you graduate and become a ninja. You've got to pass that test tomorrow, so I wouldn't screw around anymore if I were you.
That is so uncool.
Hey, is that why you took
That's
off your
great
goggles?
acting right there.
I want another refill.
I keep forgetting there's an exam tomorrow. I better head home and practice. I want to make my
Yeah, you
parents
better.
proud. I will finally become a ninja just as they were before. I mustn't fail. Unless my stupid head steals my chance from me.
Once again, another great session of the use of that Naruto soundtrack. Just really put that good feeling in me. And even in those who listen to it and enjoy it, and when they listen to this audio play, they would recognize and be like, oh wow, this really does feel like Naruto. And I think this really did. All in all, really did.
The next day, Kayata's parents were there to encourage him, as well as for the festivities afterwards, in which Jean and Bean would take pictures and write the story for tomorrow's paper. All students paid close attention as Aruka announced what was to be shown.
We will now start the final exam. When your name is called, proceed to the testing room. The final exam will be on the clone jutsu.
Clone jutsu? That's my worst technique.
Stay cool. This is it.
You can do this.
Here we go.
Believe it.
Here we go.
Clone jutsu!
You failed!
Oh my gosh. So, why does this scene do this to me? Well, it's the only time you ever hear pre-recorded audio of Male Flanagan and Quentin Flynn. It was the only way I could really pull that scene off. And yes, when I forgot who voiced Zen. That's right, Zen Carrier. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. You know, when he did that, you fail. He did so quietly and calmly, like, you fail! You know, it wasn't an outburst of rage like Quentin Flynn usually did, but just so that I don't replace what he did and offend him about it, I overlapped both Quentin and Zen in there. And I think that really, like, if it can put a smile on my face, it can put a smile on everyone's face. Because that scene is still very priceless, especially in the original version.
Iruka Sensei. He was off, but his moves weren't bad and he did hang in there and replicate. This is his third time on the test, so we know he really wants to pass. Perhaps we can cut him some slack and let him through. What do you say?
Mizuki-sensei. All the other students managed to create 3 perfect duplicates of themselves. Naruto only created 1. And look at it. It's pitiful. I can't pass him through.
He didn't make the cut. I don't know whether or not it's safe to say that I'm glad not to be in his shoes. Or sandals. Man, I crack myself up sometimes.
This is your chance, Kayata. Remember what we taught you.
I'm next. And ironically last, too. I must focus. There's no turning back now.
Stay cool, Kiyata. You can do this.
What? Why now? This is the worst time to be passing out right now. I gotta perform the jutsu.
Hang in there. Oh no.
These clones are dead as a doornail.
Perhaps that would be useful.
Useful? He fell asleep right when he didn't need to.
He can't control that. I will admit that it wasn't good timing, but with these clones, the enemy might think he's playing possum. It would be a useful way for him to escape a battle when he starts to pass out.
You're not thinking about passing him, are you? That is still debatable.
Perhaps so. I'll plan something for him soon. I'll put his status on hold for now.
Iruka is too soft on Kiyata just because of his brain damage. But I'll deal with that later. Right now, I must attend to Naruto.
So I didn't make it.
Oh, I hit the space bar in the wrong place. I guess that was a decent Mizuki voice that Joey Harath did. And in case you were confused as to what exactly happened here, Kiyata did the man, I don't know if I'm even doing the hand signs correct, but he did the clone jutsu, but when he fell asleep, his clones fell with him, except while he fell asleep, the clones are dead. And Iruka sees this as an idea, like if Kiyata is about to pass out and he needs to escape from a fight, he can do the clone jutsu and let his dead clones like fall before the enemy. The enemy will think he's sleeping. Wait, it's a clone. It would work. So
I was afraid that my head would screw everything up. I better let out my scream at home, where everyone else will hear me. So it looks like I'm not the only one standing on the sidelines. Naruto didn't make it either. We're in the same boat now. We're practically twinsies. Oh, that's not a very comfortable feeling. My failure came from an accident. I don't like this picture. Kayata's on the far right of the shot even though he didn't graduate. We'll just snip that side before putting it in the paper. And snip out half of Choji's head? Now I feel really guilty.
once again, Gene and Bean, waste of space.
Dad, can we please go home now?
You want to leave so soon?
Don't you get it? If I didn't make it through, then I shouldn't be here.
Well, all right. Please excuse us, Iruka. My son would like to head back to our home.
Heading home so soon?
What do you think? Do you see a headband on me?
You didn't make it either?
It seems like he needs to carry his own brain for when he needs it most.
Can it, Ino?
Sounds just like Sakura right there. Oh, wow. It really captured the spirit.
I don't know if I can forgive myself. I mean, I really want to stick with you and everyone else. It's been like another home for me. I won't be able to move on with the rest of you. I'll miss you.
I really hate to think that, too.
I should be out of here now. Hopefully I get to see you again.
I hope to see you, too.
Take care, Korida.
Thank you. Wait for me, boy.
I hate to see Kiyata leave like that. If only I could make my mind up about him quicker.
Iruka, we have much to discuss.
And that's why you don't see Kiyata with the rest of the academy in the Naruto original series. Little explanation of his absence right there.
Stupid head always gets in the way of things.
Man, that's one of my favorite tracks in the music score. All right. Very beautiful, and every time, like, it was around the time of production that every time I would listen to that track in my free time, I would follow up because that track is called Loneliness. And after that, I would always follow up with the song by Demon Hunter called Loneliness. Sounds great. I mean, it's not the same key, but it still sounds amazing.
It was the morning after Naruto found the truth about the nine-tailed fox. Kayata had already left off his steam the night before, so he felt it necessary to occupy himself to help keep his cool. But it was hard to do so when Naruto went through the town with the Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru.
Here we go with Naruto episode 2.
Finally, strawberries are back in season. Perhaps they'll help. Uh-oh. What's Naruto up to with the Hokage's grandson? Probably more nonsense as ever.
Uh-huh. Her, right there. Try transforming into her.
Alright, transform.
Mary McMeans only recorded that one single line, submitted it to Casting Call Club. I downloaded it from the page, paid her the money. Plain and simple. $10 just for saying that one line. She is lucky.
You sure is ugly.
Nice try, but next time make me look cuter, okay?
Jahan playing as the extras, played as Katrina at the beginning. That was her with the old lady voice. Jahan, so amazing.
How come I get it and you don't?
You told Konohamaru to do it. Everyone must focus on the mastermind. And making yourself a better example will do you better next time. Etc.
Do you have to butt in?
I think I hear the fresh fruit calling me. I wonder if the hot springs are still going well. I really need a time to relax. Time to put my losses aside. Oh no, there they are again. What the frick can they possibly be doing this time?
Probably shouldn't have put in the word frick. Then again, they have language in the Japanese version, the OG subversion.
Like this. We'll see him close up.
That's not a good sign.
Naruto, get out of the girls' locker room.
I feel you, my boy.
That's it. I'm staying home for the rest of the day. I don't want any more trouble with the ladies. Staying home? I got something good grilling out on my patio.
That's me, it's
With
Choji.
that, some big, curvy... Oh, no! Melons. I can't let the juicy stuff go to waste. I
Nope.
don't think I'll be able to sleep.
I feel you.
The next day, all who graduated were brought to the school to be assigned to their three-man squads. Though Kayata did not fully graduate, he and his father were summoned to set their final plans with Iruka.
What are you doing here, Naruto? This school isn't for dropouts.
Oh yeah? Shikamaru, look again.
A headband. Would I ask you how you got one in the end? Now I see 2 dropouts here. What's up with Kyoto?
Sir, what is your plan?
Well, something's already coming to mind right now.
I don't like the way Shikamaru is looking at me. Guess I should be alienated from here. Oh, come on now. Hold back tears. You'll make a fool of yourself. And here come 2 charging rhinos. Hello.
I'm first! Come on! My toe is 3 inches closer to the door.
So
Let
good.
me escort you into the next room.
Johanna, you did
You
such a
two
great
can
job.
discuss things from there for the time being.
Very well. Come, my boy.
Hi,
Come,
Sasuke.
boy.
Mind if I sit next to you?
She's talking to Sasuke again. I hate that.
that kind of hints that Kyoto had a bit of a crush on I didn't talk to you. Amazon Echo was going off. He thought I said the Computer word. Hinted that Kyoto had a bit of a crush on Sakura, and like he really wanted a chance to go up to her and speak to her, but never got the chance to. He was always too nervous, always worried that his head would ruin everything, and he was hoping that he would feel perfectly fine the moment he would finally do it. But after the events of part 2, actually it's like after part 1, like, yeah, we don't see Kyoto ever fall in love with anyone, but if a part 3 is imminent, which in this, currently it is not, I would only make it happen if I ever have a girlfriend. A good one. A real one. A faithful one. And to all of you who want to crush my hopes about that, shame on you.
Have that look in your eye again. Perhaps you want to tell me what's wrong.
Dad, I think I should keep that to myself. Right now I want to hear the ideas Iruka gave you.
All right. The thought came to him later than expected, as he had business to settle with Naruto. But now that he has made out the plans, the options are available to us. One choice is for him to take you through private drills, so you can master everything you've learned before the next school year begins. He has been noticing that your brain has been improving over time. You have been passing out less often. He hopes that you will be completely cured once the drills are completed. It will be then that you graduate.
It actually doesn't sound bad at all. Yeah, I like that.
Squad 7. Naruto Uzumaki.
Huh?
Sakura Haruno.
Yeah!
And Sasuke Uchiha.
Oh, that's so cute. Like, if you listen closely, as Johanna does that exciting squeal, you can hear her shaking her chair back and forth in excitement. I don't know if my mic is picking up what I'm doing, but that just really adds much flair to it.
Oh crap! Iruka sensei, why does a great ninja like me have to be on the same team with a slug like Sasuke?
Sasuke had the best scores of all the graduating students. Naruto, you had the worst scores. We pair the best with the worst.
Just make sure you don't stand in my way.
It's me as Sasuke.
Loser.
What's that you say?
You'll meet your squad leaders after lunch. Until then, class is dismissed. Alright, now that that's taken care of, let's see if Kyoto is up for that offer.
Iruka, Kayata agrees with the first option. He's willing to do it.
Excellent. Let's draw up a schedule.
Excellent.
Oh, Kayata, there is something I'd like to discuss with the sensei privately. Would you mind waiting outside for now?
No, Dad, not at all. Maybe it won't suck so much after all. Once I complete the drills and graduate, I can finally reunite with the rest of the students. How hard can it get? Then again, Sakura and Sasuke are looking at each other again. Sakura, your forehead is so humongous, it makes me feel like kissing it.
Huh?
No,
Does everyone have to flirt with her? I've got to get away from here.
not really.
Just kidding. That's something Naruto would say.
What is that transition?
Did I ever tell you about that corn maze I visited? I was rewarded with some special seasoning, and it's 6 delicious flavors. Ugh.
And Kyoto is still here? Is he walking that path just to get our attention? He can't even see us up here.
Yeah, but I can hear talking.
Seriously, shouldn't you be off school property if you didn't graduate? Oh wait, you should.
So you're ninjas now. And apparently, I'm your first enemy. Dang, man,
That
he
wasn't
got you
great.
there.
I told you he's good at roasting. I can at least admire him for that.
Claris did a great job on that growl. And we can all assume that it was after the whole... It's the only way it'll work because she'll throw a fit when she doesn't get her way. Yo, why don't you take us to some barbecues, Eno?
I hope Sasuke left that empty spot, because that's what I'll be needing until it's time to head back home.
I probably should remove the word empty right there. I was trying to think of whether or not I should do I hope Sasuke left that spot or I hope that spot is empty now. I mashed the two unknowingly.
Fudge, now Naruto is here.
Think you can fool me? Wise guy? Well, forget it.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Why does this keep happening to me? Ah!
Dumb Naruto!
Oh my gosh. Johanna really had that Sakura spirit. Really had that flair, that feel. It was that good. Worth the money. Though in part 2, she did it for free. Still did a great job. And my brother just dropped in the chat.
Gee, I think I got here at the wrong time. Sakura will be sore with everyone. Better escape before she does the same to me.
Kiyata, I didn't notice you there. What brings you here?
My dad and I are making arrangements with Iruka Sensei about finishing my training. Hopefully I'll fully graduate soon. Then I'll finally catch up with you.
Really? That does sound better than what we talked about last time. Of course we'll meet again from time to time on regular days.
That actually does sound better than before. But don't get me too excited already. I still have yet to begin.
There you are, my boy. The schedule has been formed, and Iruka will visit us later for more details.
The way I make Koruda address Kyata as my boy, it does not at all remind me of King Harkinian from Link Faces of Evil. My boy. No, currently reminds me more of Kratos and how he addresses Atreus. Boy. Boy. But this old man is far different from Kratos. Sorry.
Come now, we're heading for a ramen special.
Well, alright. Hope to see you again, Sakura.
I wish to see you too.
Oh, before I forget, I just want to tell you...
Here we go.
Don't worry about what you look like. I like you, big forehead and all.
Huh?
You've always been a sight for sore eyes.
Kyata finally put the move on Sakura. Finally being brave enough to say something nice about her. Right to her face. But alas, the relationship never happens because, as we all know, she takes Sasuke. Oh, wow.
He was so brave to say that. I'll be missing him too. Well, I should meet up with the other two chumps. Don't want to be late to meet our squad leader.
So much hope filled Kayata's heart that day. Once again, he desired to stay strong through the trials.
That music is so old school, but still gold. Like, it is, in fact, called Sakura's theme, used for a scene with Sakura. And you think that after a scene like this, with all the positive music like this, and the, friendship going on, you'd think, okay, things are getting better for him now. Nope, it's about to get worse. Things are about to drop like a fly.
Terrible tragedies had occurred after many months had passed. The twisted Sasuke Uchiha had left the village on the search for Orochimaru. But Naruto promised to pursue his friend and bring him back to the light.
Don't you worry one bit. I'm going to bring Sasuke back. I promise that in my life, Sakura.
I forgot to add an echo reverb to that. Oh well.
These clouds don't look friendly. Better get back home before it's too late. Is that Sakura? I knew there was something rotten going on in town. To make things
I thought someone was outside my door. That's the thunderstorm brewing in here. It was going through my headphones. I'm like, whoa, who's there?
worse, she's still obsessed with Sasuke. I'm about to lose it right now.
That guy shouldn't get far. He already reached the top of the hill.
What?
That's where you live?
Let me through. My parents are up there.
Here we go.
Too late. Oh no! Dad? Dad! Son. Kayata.
I know it seems rather sudden to kind of cut from Kiyata shouting that out to we hearing Karuda's dying breath. Originally, I had an idea of some water dripping inside the house, and Kiyata had to shove a wood board aside to get in there because the killer had wrecked the house in the process. But I guess, like, the killer had left the door wide open after he did his deed.
Oh, no. Please don't die!
He was here? I'm very sorry about your parents. They raised and protected you well. I'm starting to wonder, what did that killer have against them? We'll arrange a proper funeral for them. But right now, we need to know who that guy is and what he's after. Get going while there is still time. Go!
Come on out, you miserable rat!
Who's there?
Are you afraid?
A couple more of those Needles recordings reused. Now you know who's gonna voice the bad guy. Oh my gosh, it's the Needles dude. It's a Sweet Tooth dude. Oh, he's gonna sound awesome in this. Is that what we were hoping? I don't know.
Huh?
There you are. It's about time you showed yourself. I had to cut down your parents to occupy myself.
Who are you?
It's been too long since we last met, boy. I wanted to cure you of your brain damage until your clumsiness turned me into a freak!
You're that doctor!
Yes, that's it. But now I'd rather be known as Cobra. I find it a more fitting code name as an assassin.
You have pushed me past my limits. I'll destroy you with everything I have!
Don't try it. I have a bag of tricks myself. Such as this smoke bomb!
He goes full anime mode right there.
Where'd he go? Ah!
He's taking him to the top of the wall! Stop him!
Don't any of you try pulling any ninja moves now. If you do, then one prod of my blade will send him falling off this wall to his demise. I hold all the cards now.
Why does this scene sound familiar? Just a little inspiration I took from the Avengers issues 19 and 20 of when the swordsman threatened everyone else, if he's gonna push Captain America off the edge, but Cap gets rescued in the next part. This, however, turns out quite differently.
Insidious beast! This is repulsive. What can we do?
I'll tell you what you can do. If you value this one's life, then you must do as I say. You have 10 seconds to accept me as Hokage.
You don't know how it works, dude.
Don't do it!
We can't let you die, Kiata. There should be another way.
We'll save you somehow.
Little impact sting right there.
Another way? There are no more options. At least for them. If there is anything I want to prove, that I have learned so much, is to lay down my own life for my friends and the village I love.
Now, it sounds like Kyata's going into a little emo mode right there. That's practically the anime emotional embrace or feel that they typically have. And I guess I kept it that way, but for this one right here, I feel like it's a bit too emotional at least that's how I feel about it.
I have no other choice. I can at least join my parents.
The clock is ticking. What's your answer?
They won't have to make a decision now. They've done many good things for me. So I must do the same for them by saving the village from this threat. Goodbye. I love you. I'm sorry. It's too late. He pushed him off. No. Kayata did it himself. He did it for us, so that we wouldn't surrender.
The fool. Why did he do it?
Goodbye.
I think the first goodbye would have been good enough.
Mika-sensei. The murderer disappeared. We suspect he retreated from the village after he realized he lost his chance.
What about Kiata? Did you find him?
I'm afraid not, sir. That river below the wall is very deep. We found no trace of him around it. We suspect he may have drowned.
But that river wasn't there before.
It must have been formed recently as a trap.
It's not a genjutsu either. Because we can assume that those inspectors would have said release, but nothing would change. So I guess we can guess that Cobra had dug that up and formed it as of recently and without any prying eyes. As to break the confusion, people would be asking, hey, wait a minute. We know what the village looks like all around. It doesn't have any rivers outside directly. Aren't there walls? Yeah, and so this is a genius of a trap, I guess.
I'm very sorry. We cannot bury him with his parents.
Kiata had so much fear within him. But for the first time, today, I saw him with courage. That was the bravest thing I've ever seen him do, saving our village that way. He really was a ninja.
I'm still alive. When I least want to be.
Suicidal?
Can I call what I did a mistake? No, no, now I can't find the way back. How can I get back home? I'm lost.
Yes, that was me shouting. And I think from what I recall, I had quite a headache right after. I'm like, oh wow, that took so much out of me. So after this, it was supposed to be the scene. I mean, it did make it into the initial release of part 1. It was the scene of Kyoto's recovery, of where he wakes up and finds himself at the hospital. Naruto and Sakura are with him, and he's about to resume his life in the village. And yet for part 2, we remade that scene. We re-recorded all of our lines, except I didn't use those re-recordings for the whole thing. I took areas of what was from part 1 and placed it in there, but with new background music, and we began to our re-recordings kind of picked up where we left off. So man, I got a long comment on this post. I'm gonna have to get back to that soon. So what we will see, what we hear for throughout the next few seconds is the transition into part 2. This is how part 2 began, and that's practically what the rest of this is. So we are halfway there, and it took us an hour. We can get through this, right? Also, from this point on, I don't use the music of Naruto's part 1 anymore. From this point on, I start using music from Shippuden and Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, since part 2 takes place after all of Shippuden.
Hey! We need help here! Hey!
What's going on?
We found someone out there. We think we know who it is. Does he look familiar?
Not really. I only moved here recently.
Wasn't he a student at the Ninja Academy?
He was. Take him to the hospital as quickly as you can.
Yes, sir.
Iruka-sensei, it's an emergency.
Come in.
A group of hunters just entered the village with a body in their wagon. We identified it as an old student of yours from a few years ago.
Student? That couldn't be possible. Wait a minute. What did he look like?
Yeah, you notice now some of the characters have different voices. Because again, part 2 was made 1 year after part 1, and only the voices of Naruto and Sakura came back. And it wasn't, like, part 2 wasn't entirely my idea, though. Like, this was in late August. It was in late August. My family and I were at Analog Arcade. All of a sudden, my phone vibrates. I check it. It's an email from Barb. And she's like, hey, it's been a year since we first worked on a project. And I want to say thank you so much for having me aboard. I've been taking voice acting lessons lately, and I would really like it if we can work on a new project together again. And I'm like, wow, she remembers. She actually messaged me with this. This is what I call dedication. This is what I call friendship. So I messaged her back saying, well, I'll come up with something. All right? Maybe a part 2 to Naruto and the Missing Ninja will actually happen. Maybe that is imminent. So I wrote up the script. I sent it to her, sent it to Johanna, and I recruited new voice actors on Casting Call Club. Put it all together. Excuse me. And we were happy with the results. It truly was a blessing to get back together for this.
He had wild blonde hair. He looked about 5'5". He was the son of that businessman from the newspapers.
That was Kiara.
I think so.
How is he? Is he alive?
He was unconscious when we saw him. He's being given immediate medical attention.
I had hoped to give him this headband when his training was complete. Kiata must pull through. I want him alive.
Yeah, no more narration. Mother
Sakura,
Nature.
what's going on here? What is everyone clamoring about?
Naruto, do you remember the only student in our class that never graduated?
And I thought I was the only one. At first.
What I mean is, do you recognize this person? He was the one with the birth defect. Remember?
Kiata Tetsuyami? Oh yeah. I was gone when that incident happened on the wall. So they finally have the leads as to where he was this whole time?
Mm-hmm. They finally found him.
I think we just heard a little bump to Johanna's mic, and I apologize for that.
We thought he was gone for good.
Is he still alive?
That all depends.
Depends on what?
If they can get that poison out of him in time.
Poison?
Come on, we need to go see him.
Not until you get the final word from me.
Kakashi-sensei!
Finally, Kakashi makes an appearance. I would have, I had different ideas of, who else should make an appearance, because they've never appeared in part 1. What about part 2? Will they finally get their chance? Will we finally see Kiba and Akamaru? Will we finally see Hinata, Gaara? Will we finally see, anyone else who is worth Rock Lee and Mike Guy? What about them? Huh? Power of Youth? Apparently not. Guess I want to keep it nice and simple.
I already got my copy of today's edition. Good for them to print the story in mere minutes.
Kakashi-sensei, I feel Naruto and I should go see Kiata. Though he never succeeded in becoming a ninja, he was still one of us.
I shouldn't have seen him the wrong way. I thought he was a weird kid, but there was much more to him than I thought.
All right, you both have my permission, but make sure you mention that it was on my orders. Also, Iruka has recovered the headband he had reserved for Kiata. He may yet have a chance to give it to him.
Thank you.
We are not allowing any visitors. Please leave the premises.
We're here on Okage's orders.
Oh, really?
You have a former classmate of ours.
All poison has been extracted. We're not getting a response from him. His pulse is faint. He may not wake up.
If everyone can please clear out of the room, let's leave these two alone with him.
That's Kiata right there. I almost didn't recognize him.
He's a mess. It looks like he's been through so much during his time alone.
I should have lent a helping hand when he needed one.
What is this? Somehow my life is flashing before me. Events in my past replaying themselves again and again.
I hope he'll be alright.
I hear voices. They almost sound familiar. I think I've heard them from way back then. Now I see a door. I think it's calling to me, urging me to open it and see what's on the other side.
Didn't you hear the doctor? He said he might not make it.
Look!
He's alive!
He's alive!
Hang in there. Take it easy.
That's it. Easy now.
It's good to have you back, buddy.
Do you remember us?
Sakura?
You got that right!
Great acting.
Naruto?
You won the lottery.
What happened?
You were hit with a poison dart. You were brought here quickly, and the doctors got the poison out of you.
You mean I'm back in the village?
See for yourself.
Really here it's like a little outdoor ambience.
How long have I been gone?
We hate to say this, but it's been 4 years since the incident on the wall.
I really did lose track of time. I'm back home.
Practically summed up where he was during all of Shippuden.
I'm so glad to see you again.
Aww.
I just wish I was able to save my parents in time. Still ashamed of letting them die.
Kiata, I've met many people filled with regrets, filled with hatred, and I've helped them show their true colors. I've shown reason to people like Gata, Obito, and even Sasuke, though we both lost an arm in the process. It means I'm willing to do so much to help others, including you.
What's your point for me?
We've all been through a lot of suffering. Heck, my parents died the day I was born, but with the help of many people I've made friends with, I've been able to stand strong and move forward. I'm still surrounded by those who really care and are willing to lend a hand when the going gets rough. There's never been a time to be afraid. In your case, you still have me and Sakura with you, and the rest of your old classmates.
Looks like you've shown reason to me too.
I really got you, didn't I?
You most certainly did.
I thought it was over for you when that freak pushed you off the wall.
That's what everyone might say. I think at this point the truth is pretty twisted up. But what really happened is that he didn't push me off.
No?
No, I walked off. I did so our village wouldn't surrender to him.
I never thought you were a bigger part of that story. I just thought you were a weird kid.
Oh man, it's coming back.
That's right. His sleeping sessions.
I thought it would stop sometime.
In part 1, I originally had that headache sound effect for this scene, but when we remade this the part is the sound effect is absent because he's faking it this time.
And it did. Gotcha, didn't I?
Ha! You still roast, buddy.
Hasn't happened to me since I entered the wilderness. I've been cured for a long time.
That's good news to us. To all of us.
Hey, you better get cleaned up. You're still a mess. And when you're ready, there'll be a headband waiting for you.
It's good to be back.
Kiata, you're alright. You recovered very quickly.
I think I should also thank that hunter for bringing me back here in the first place.
No consequences for him? Whatever. Being that you are now fully awake and in the best of health, we will clean you up and give you a more appropriate appearance.
You're right about that. I look like an uprooted plant.
Although you two will have to leave while we take care of this.
Very well. Just don't keep us waiting too long.
See you later, Kiata.
Good music, right?
All this research, all these experiments, and still I fear I have not yet reached a more satisfactory result.
That is Cobra, but this time it's voiced by me, alright? Maria the Hunter could not reprise the role, and I think it was because, like, he had already... I can't remember. Because, was it around that time that we recorded some of the voices for PSAS Season 4? That his voice got damaged? Because, you know, voicing needles usually kind of damages his voice. So, I don't know if it was because of that, or was it damaged earlier this year when we were trying to wrap up season 4. I can't remember exactly why I took over this time around. I don't know, but I did my best though. Oof, it's cold in here.
What am I still missing that would make this army of venomous serpents almost as powerful as Orochimaru himself?
You're still trying to win his approval?
New serpentine creature by the name of Plague. Even though my older brother came up with the character Plague before, this is a completely different version from what we initially had for Supersonic Squad. Here I'm just adopting that name, just like I am adopting Cobra as well.
He is the most talented that I know in the fields of biology and chemistry. As a scientist myself, I must move up to his level.
Perhaps your chance will come to another halt. Word has rapidly spread about the recovery of a certain figure you had disposed of years ago. Cobra?
What do you mean?
This boy was found not too long ago. You do know him, don't you?
That boy, he's alive? He still lives?
Unfortunately.
Savage.
He cannot live. Not after what he did to my poor face. He mustn't remain unpunished. I want him dead!
He's now on the verge of insanity. On the brink of insanity.
You look like
I
your
don't
old
know.
self now. After a more cleansing bath, a pedicure and manicure, a haircut, some dental work, and a new set of clothes, you should be good to go.
You forgot that decent meal I had. That was the best meal I had since that incident.
You must go now. You mustn't keep your friends waiting.
Thanks, Doc. Hey, wait a minute. What about the bill?
Oh, no need to worry about that. Lord Hokage informed me that he would pay for you.
Oh, alright then. I keep forgetting the new added faces on the mountain.
There he is! About time!
You look so much better now. Definitely more sophisticated.
Looks like I can walk out in public now.
Come on, let's go see Iruka. Iruka-sensei, look who's here!
Kyoto, that's really you!
On the
Great
contrary,
acting.
that fellow over there is really me. Hello!
Ah, that was a perfect clone jutsu. You had me fooled there for a second.
Practicing by myself seems to have paid off well.
But how's your head? Has your brain been in top shape?
Oh yes, it has. No more passing out, no more sleeping sessions. I'm now living and breathing like anybody else.
I'm very glad to know that. Being that you have survived all that time alone after the incident, I feel I can just hand this over to you easily. After all that you've been through, I think you've earned it.
Thank you, Iruka.
Not too shabby. The headband looks great on you.
And unfortunately, we never see any artwork of Kyoto wearing that headband. Yeah, sorry I didn't pay for a new render of Kyoto with that headband on. I mean, this one already looked great, though. You know, this one I've used in so many different platforms of social media, done by Charismatic Chaos Creations. You did a great job.
I should say so myself.
I am sure your parents would be very proud of you for making it this far.
If they lived and breathed, they would be here to savor the moment as well.
Hey, keep your head up, Kyoto. It's time for you to progress.
If so, then what's my first mission?
I will speak to Kakashi about that. For now, enjoy the moment, Kyoto.
Thank you.
How about we get some Ichiraku ramen to celebrate?
Oh, yeah.
They really know how to lift one's spirits.
That sounds swell, thank you. Already these paths look very familiar to me. I remember this one, leading up the hill. My house!
He runs, he doesn't do the leap. Guess he was desperate. I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, Kiara. They closed down the house when they thought you were gone for good.
Why didn't we discuss this earlier before I checked out of the hospital?
Kicked down the door just like that.
Look at this place. I recognize it, but it just isn't the same anymore. It certainly doesn't feel like home. Everything's gone.
Well, not everything. We requested to leave your room the way it was, and not have anything removed from it.
It's a good thing your room was left alone. And the only window left that wasn't boarded up.
Sometimes, we would look through it and imagine you were still at home.
Dear me. I haven't seen my parents' faces since what happened to them. This picture is all I have left of them now.
That explains it, sorry.
Sorry, I know we talked about moving on earlier. I just wasn't prepared for this.
It's all right. I can understand your pain.
We'll leave you alone for a while. Just come and see us when you're ready.
Are you sure? He was alone for years. He may have already done his grieving then.
I know, but now that he's home, the memories have been rushing back to him. It's made things harder for him, but hopefully he'll pull through.
Aha! Caught you red-handed.
Whoa, 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 hold up! Joji, is that you?
Kiara? Then, it's true. You're back. You really are here.
Wait a minute, take it easy. Ah, wow. Okay, I think you got it now.
Sorry, just got excited.
Why does this sound familiar? You picked the wrong house, fool. Yeah, Choji saw the door was broken down. You could walk right in now. He's like, who did this? But yeah. CJ? Oh, my dog.
You doing all right?
I'm trying to. I know it's exciting that I'm back in the village. I'm a ninja now. But I still lost so much.
I can tell things have changed for the worse. I wasn't here when it all happened, but I know how you feel. Come with me. I'll go take you to see the rest of my squad. They might be eager to see you.
I should hope so.
Oh, looks like now my laptop is on low battery. I gotta charge it real quick. I don't know why Streamlabs just eats up so much of my laptop's battery. And I've had this thing since last fall. Next thing I need to save up for is a new PC. So I can do all my streaming stuff in one nice station with no battery problems.
Watch the door. I kicked it down myself.
You did? You've gotten much stronger. See, there they are, over there. We have plenty of catching up to do.
At a cemetery? I never really liked that place.
At a cemetery?
Here he is, and he looks good as new.
Shikamaru. Ino. Now I'm seeing a lot more recognizable faces. What's the matter? You're looking at me as if I'm a phony. If that's really you, say your name so I can tell your mother. My mother knows my name, and she's dead. You have some nerve visiting my parents' gravestones. Hey, I'm back, Mom and Dad. I made it. I'm a ninja now, just like we hoped. I'm gonna do big things now. I hope you're both proud of me. I love you, and I miss you.
Wasn't a great sniffle, really.
Okay, I'm done. It's you, alright. Welcome back.
What, me having another one of my sad moments was enough to convince you? I just don't think you've really changed all that much, though the headband is the only big difference. Though I've returned to the village, I didn't even think about my living situation until I saw my house. What's left of it, anyway. I don't know where I'm gonna live for the time being, and when I'll be able to afford fixing my house. Your dad owned the news business, right? Didn't he say you would inherit it once he passed along? Where's his will, currently? I'd have to help Kakashi dig it out. But for now, I suppose Naruto wouldn't mind having you at his apartment. I'll ask him about it, thank you. Whew. I should have thought twice. I should have realized this would not be easy at all. It never is.
Knowing I cannot return to the Leaf Village without easily being recognized, I must keep myself disguised.
What exactly is your stratagem?
This human face mask should cover me until I strike a Kyata in secret. There will be no witnesses this time, no prying eyes. I wish this mask would resemble my old face, the face he had ruined in his clumsiness. But he must not know. He will soon meet his end by the one man he fears. I want it to be a nasty surprise for him.
Very well, sir. How much longer until then?
I should hope to finish this by morning. He won't suspect what happens next.
The fact that he's creating a human face mask like a disguise. It's like the chameleon from Marvel Comics, but this felt more to me like Darkman. Except it doesn't melt after a few hours pass by.
So how is it? Is it as good as you remember?
All I can say is, I really missed this place. I don't know how many more bowls I'll consume. This is good stuff. And yet, I still can't keep my mind off the current problem. I understand it's a time-taking process. I'm trying to be as patient about it as possible. I hope my father's will is found in due time.
I'm sure it will be. You can stay at my place for the time being until we get this all sorted out.
I mean, I don't want to take up too much room in your apartment.
Trust me, I've let other people stay there before. I'm a good host.
I guess it's better than nothing. Can't live on the street. Now I'm hungry again. Only this time, we race.
What? You're gonna try to eat faster than me? Haha!
I'm up for a challenge.
You asked for it.
Heat up.
Can't believe you beat me by 3 bowls.
Hey, I was hungry. Where do you think I've been all these years?
I'm completely aware of it.
So, this is the same apartment as before?
Mm-hmm. I never got tired of this place.
I really do appreciate the hospitality, though I should hope not to be here too long.
Just until your dad's will is recovered, and you can get back what's rightfully yours.
I hope to make you proud again, Dad. Talking to his daddy.
At last it is complete. I should be able to slip through the village's front gates, disguised with no problem. How is it?
You look much better, sir.
If only it had never happened. Kyoto ruined my reputation and made me look like a freak. I will have to go the extra mile just to put him down for good.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Keep watch over my experiments, and don't let anyone approach this cave except me. And if Orochimaru appears, tell him I will return soon.
Very well.
But he never does appear. Sorry.
You're in luck, Kyoto. Shikamaru and I will recover your father's will today. You'll get your house back and his business in no time flat.
Thank you.
Let's look around some more. See if you remember these things.
You haven't met up with the rest of the classmates yet?
I'm hoping they do recognize me. I don't look that different from way back then.
No, you're still your good old self.
That's a relief.
Maybe Rock Lee would greet him with a big ol' hug.
I missed you.
That man right there. He's acting pretty secretive. It looked like he's following Kyoto. What can he want from him?
Hold on. I think we found who we're looking for.
Something's not right here. Did you see him over there with the cape? He looks like he's been following us everywhere we've walked.
Hold on, I've got an idea. Shadow Clone Jutsu!
About time.
I'll send my clones out to keep tabs on him.
They mustn't find out why I'm here. They've got to leave Kyoto. I want my attack to be in private.
Where do you think you're going?
Yeah!
If you think you can take advantage of Kyoto, forget it. Whatever you want, it's not yours.
You're sadly mistaken.
This guy isn't who he claims to be.
There's 2 of you? Wait, there's 5!
You wouldn't understand because you're not a ninja. Now let's see who you really are.
No, stop! Get off me! Unhand me!
That was weird.
And once again, I'm using the 2018 remake of A Baited Mass of Flesh, Saul I Am. Like, that song just has a great creeping intro into it that I've been using it as like, uh-oh, it's the theme of the impending terror that's about to befall these people. Wow. I mean, I haven't used it for... Actually, I have still used it this year. Man.
What's going on over here?
Stupid, foolish Naruto!
It's you!
The doctor! Somehow he knew you were here.
My disguise is missing. Naruto unveiled me right before Kyoto's eyes. I've been exposed.
You ruined my life. You killed my parents. You pushed me off that wall and away from the village and left me for dead. I suppose you've come back for a second round.
I'm not walking away until I've punished you completely. I tried to help you. I tried to cure you of your defect. You took away my chance and my dignity.
That's a crummy thing to be taking revenge for. Can't you accept the fact that it was an accident? He didn't mean
Shut
to—
up, Fox! This is between me and this oaf only.
He's right about it being an accident. I didn't mean to disfigure you. But even though my brain had caused me to stumble, I'm still responsible for my own actions.
Once again, it kind of takes me back to that moral of... Like, I addressed this a while back, and I still kind of address it from time to time. And it's for the autistic people out there. I said, if you have autism, don't blame autism for your actions. Because as the host, as the person, you are still responsible. You yourself are still responsible for your own actions. And Kyoto here is taking full responsibility because Cobra is still holding a grudge against him for what he did.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm very sorry about what I did back then. I wasn't thinking very clearly.
At last you acknowledge your wrongdoing. Nothing can undo the damage done to me. I'm hideous!
What will it take for you to understand me?
Your body, completely void of all life.
You have to fight him, Kyoto. You have no other choice. This time it's your turn. You gotta stand up to him.
It's like I said, there's never a time to be afraid.
If I have no other choice, then fine. You're not facing a coward anymore, Doctor. This time you're facing a ninja.
I
old lady told you. Call me Cobra!
Whatever.
All right, time for some action. We'll help you as best as
Finally,
we
a
can,
real
Kiana.
battle.
No, stay back. This is his fight. You should know whom he's doing this for.
I hope my parents can see me now. Be warned, Cobra. This is gonna hurt.
I can hardly wait.
Clone Jutsu.
I don't care if there's 2 or 3 of you. I'll have you all dead! Where are you?
What we heard there is him swiping his dagger across the clones, and they all disappear as soon as his blade touches them, so that the real Kyoto makes an escape.
Hope that answers your question.
Stand still!
Substitution.
You weren't prepared to see
Lord.
me again, yet you have the skills to fight me. Unbelievable. Hmm? Those sleeping sessions. Your brain is still weak. This is almost too easy. I could end this right here and now.
Or so you say.
Not.
And you call me weak? At least that's how I used to be.
How?
Told my clone to play possum to fool you. I'd rather not look at him now. It's like looking at my past self all over again. And now, we're about to put you to bed. You guys ready?
Oh, you do want us to join in.
I'm done with feeling alone.
All right, but just as long as you land the finishing blow.
That I promise.
What's going on now?
Shadow Clone Jutsu!
No, not this again!
Naruto! Uzumaki Barrage!
Stop! My bones!
Barb knew what to do that time.
Don't worry, it's about to get much worse.
1,000 years of death!
Poor guy's butt's on fire.
After what you did to me, now you know how it feels.
Please, no more. I'll do anything for you. I'll try to cure you again.
No need. I was cured of my brain damage after you got rid of me. Like I said, I'm not who I used to be anymore. This is for my family. The family you killed.
I underestimated you. I should have known. This is the price I pay.
Now you do.
That right there was supposed to be like Kyoto's fist had caught on fire and landed the fiery fist. Liu Kang inspired.
Is he alright? Did he do it?
Well, I got him. It's over.
That was awesome! I wish I had gotten to see it up close.
Truly, you have grown stronger, Kiata. You were terrific.
And on top of that, you've completed the mission.
Mission?
Oh, that was our little secret.
Well, you see, we knew Cobra would return to the village for revenge when Kiata was recovered. There was already a reward for Cobra's capture, and since Kiata has finished the job, he earns all the money that's promised.
He gets the reward?
It's a very overwhelmingly large amount.
Then I can afford repairing my house. What's more, I finally found this.
Oh, good. Karuta's will has been recovered. I told you this was your lucky day, Kiata.
And just like that, you got everything you need. And it's thanks to you. That's the mission we secretly put you in.
Secret mission?
What's the matter?
I'm just at a loss for words right now. All I can try to say is... Happy day.
I've met plenty of other people who reacted similarly.
Well, how does it look? Do you like the house now?
They did an excellent job fixing this place up. I gotta hand it to them.
Gotta lend me a hand at some point. You should have seen him.
In case you couldn't catch that through the accent, Naruto said Gara lent me a hand at some point. You should have seen him. So at least I was able to mention Gara. I guess he used his sand to help with the sand-based work.
Feels like home sweet home again. Although after I get settled, I'll have to get to work and carry on where my dad left off. I'll be a working ninja now, so you won't be able to see me as often. I'll be a very busy boy.
We won't mind that. You do what you gotta do. What matters is that you fully recovered and move forward.
That I will. Thank you, both of you.
Our pleasure. See you around, buddy.
Come and see us if you need anything.
I'll be busy, alright. First things first, I gotta set the record straight. The story about what happened on the wall was pretty twisted up. The people have to understand it was my choice to walk off. It's my turn to tell the story now. I hope you can hear me, Dad. Because I am happy now.
I can hear the song too. There you go, one of my favorite songs. Okay. If you're wondering what the purpose of that song was, around the time that Missing Ninja, at least part 1, was in its thinking process, like, it was while we were still in Missouri, or there was that, and on our way back home from Missouri, I had that song playing in my head over and over and over again, that I'm like, dang, this has such a great anime vibe to it, and it had a great feel to it. I used it. I put it at the beginning of part 1 while you hear me in my own voice giving a brief explanation about the project, and I even put at the end of part 1 while Lars does the final narration part, which we don't hear in this compilation video. We don't hear in this 2-in-1. I rearranged it. So, like, part 1's ending just did not feel complete because, like, Kyota's back in the village. He's still alive. Now he's got to get everything in order. He's got to get his life back together. So with part 2, I think this finally gives us a proper ending. Like, his parents have now been avenged. He has his home back. He inherits the business. He can now go on with life. He can now, work and be able to do what he needs to do. We finally have that, and we have the reprise of that song too. And if you're wondering what that song is, that is Cut It Off by My Own Devices. And it was a side project of Dan Smots from the System Is Down podcast, and he's also the vocalist of the Dawn Retreat. That's his main band. And yes, he does know I used the song. I told him, hey, I used it, I rearranged it. He was pleased. His son was pleased when I showed him both parts. But man, this was an incredible ride. This was an incredible journey that Kyoto has gone through in the YouTube world. This is an incredible journey that we've gone through putting this together, and it is just incredible how everything turned out in the end. That everyone is still happy. And once again, big shout out to my voice actors. Thank you to Barbara and to Johanna for coming back for this. You're awesome. And Johanna even came back earlier this year to voice Sasha Fironix in PSAS Season 4. That was great. Really great. So, finally got these headphones off. We've been at this for an hour and 45 minutes. I think it's time we all go to bed now. Amazon Echo. Stop. I don't think it understands me. Alright, I wish we didn't have these things in the house. We really don't need them. Anyway, that is it. Thank you guys for being part of the reaction with me. I appreciate that. And I will see you all again sometime.